I tried sketching for the past week. Today, I'm going to go over what I learned about both sketching and art in general, what I failed at, and what I'll be drawing from here moving forward. Hey, it's CK, and welcome back to 52 Skills in 52 Weeks. This week was sketching. I learned a lot about art in general over the past few years, and I've grown a deeper appreciation for it. Sketching started for me when I was in high school and middle school.
Destroyer of evil!
Take it easy, it's just a drawing.
I was a big fan of anime, and I wanted to try to draw my own anime and cartoons and see if I could make what they made. Now, I've been trying to get into sketching for a while. It's been something that I've been trying to do both digitally and physically with a paper and pencil. The method I used for learning sketching were two different courses. These courses were from a site called Domestika. This site offered courses for $1 or $2 if you sign up for their pro plan, but I ended that trial before the 30 days, so I was able to still get those courses and have access to it, but not have to pay the $150 fee for the trial, so watch out for that if you do take the same route. The two courses I got were Expressive Architectural Sketching with Colored Markers by Albert Kiefer, and then Classical Portrait Drawing, The Renaissance Man's Method by Mikel Bagiona. Sorry if I butchered. I got Expressive Architectural Sketching because I have a love for architecture. I appreciate architecture a lot, and I have a love for English tutors especially, and architecture around the globe. I actually got this book from Studio Ghibli on architecture and animation. I got this because I love Studio Ghibli films, and they have such a way with world building through their architecture, through making it feel like the world is working together, both with nature and the buildings around it. Alongside this book and Expressive Architectural Sketching, I was able to start sketching my own buildings. Of course, what we do is we take a lot of inspiration. I was just sketching buildings from what I was seeing, and it personally came out pretty well. He goes into detail on utilizing the horizon, which is the basic notions of perspective. Then he goes deeper from the horizon for a frontal perspective, looking head on at a building, and then a two-point perspective when you're looking at a building from the side, from the ground, and then a three-point perspective when you're looking at an aerial view of a building from three aspects of the roof and the two sides. I focused more on the sketching side and not really the coloring side. That may be another week to go into it. So I was just sketching a lot of these drawings wherever I was. This eventually led me to the classical portrait drawing. I wanted to see if I can get better at drawing in general. And this went over a lot of history of art with Leonardo Davinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael. And that eventually transformed into the Da Vinci's methods, using the Renaissance man's methods of art. Leonardo da Vinci was called a Renaissance man. And Renaissance men were multi-talented. They were well-rounded and outstandingly versatile individuals that had knowledge in various aspects. One thing I learned from this course that really struck me was that Leonardo da Vinci wasn't just an artist and a painter and a drawer. He was a sculptor, he was an architect, he was somewhat of a philosopher, and he was into math and sciences and botanical. This is what I've been striving for this 52 Skills in 52 Weeks. Some people call it a polymath, someone that's knowledgeable in a lot of different areas, but more on the artistic side for that. So I'm bouncing between Renaissance man and polymath. We'll see what I end up being, and I don't really want to call it anything. I'm just trying to be a better person and find what I like and the skills that I can take with me in my life. But going back onto topic, the portrait drawing taught me a lot about art in general and moved me into trying to learn more realistic art and understanding blending and different styles of drawing to be more cohesive together. I'm still a far way away from that. This is very, very evident by how I blended this circle and this ball. It is really not good, and it's something I'm gonna have to keep coming back to see if I can get it right. In Da Vinci's paintings, he used something called a sfumato technique. The technique allowed the painter to create smooth transitions, and these transitions are typical for the portraits of Leonardo da Vinci. Think the Mona Lisa, how the face looks like a very smooth, realistic 3D face in the painting. This also translates into one of my favorite artists, Caravaggio. He was also an Italian Renaissance artist who did a lot of more Baroque work and had a lot more of a dark feel when light to dark comes together, and how there's usually like one or two lights that were illuminating the art that he was using and the subjects he had. I will say my biggest failure of this week was my classical portrait session, because I feel like I learned more about art, but my actual sketching just took a back seat, and I wasn't that good because I was more interested in learning about the life of Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo and Raphael, and I kept tangenting, and I did try to do the circle, but I still need to continue this course and finish it. So I will still be working on it and trying to get better at sketching over time. So what I will be drawing moving forward is probably along the lines of still doing architectural and trying to color it, and then also drawing more portrait drawings to understand how light works with faces and the human body, so that way I can make more in-depth sketches in the future. While sketching was a weak week for me, I will be moving on to a stronger week with some days off and some more time to myself, and I will be at the computer working on some 3D art in some way. You'll see you next week.